Yo, what is up guys? My name is G-Legend and today we're going to be reviewing Titanfall 2. More specifically, we're going to be reviewing the multiplayer portion of Titanfall 2, and this is going to be a different kind of review. I'm going to give you guys this review in a hands-on style, which is actually a review from a player's point of view. Like a lot of reviews on YouTube, they're from an outside view, like a third-person view, but we're going to actually go in the game. I'm going to show you guys footage from inside the game instead of actually just reviewing the outskirts, so to speak. That's how they do it a lot, and I don't think those are good reviews. So this is the type of review that I like. Anyway, if that interests you, then don't go anywhere, guys, because we're just getting started. Alrighty guys, so our review is going to be broken down into 5 sections. That's going to be gameplay, that's going to be game modes, and then Titan and Titan loadouts, and then that's going to be weapons, and then maps, and then at the end I want to say some miscellaneous things. So nothing important. It doesn't deserve its own section, but I do want to make sure I say these things at the end, so you do want to stick around for that. But first things first, the gameplay. It's actually very good quality definition, 60 frames per second throughout most of the time, though it does seem slightly lower in certain areas or maybe during or after certain animations. Nothing too bad though. It's almost, and I'm emphasizing this, almost unnoticeable. It's possibly unnoticeable actually to someone who isn't paying attention, but if you are paying attention, it's like certain parts after certain animations they do kind of drop in frames a little bit, but it's not too bad guys. It's not too shabby actually. The movement is pretty damn good guys. It's pretty smooth, it's fast, and it really makes you feel like some kind of futuristic soldier. It's not laggy, it's not glitchy from what I can see, from what I can tell. Very fluid and natural. I absolutely love it guys. It's actually pretty well done. I'm pretty sure they took a lot of time out of their days, the people who made the game out of their days, to actually perfect the movement, because it's very important and they did a great job. I'm glad they did. Something I noticed is that they did bring back the grapple ability. The grapple ability is super fun with these mechanics, just like it was in the first Titanfall. It's no different in the second one. It's really fun, so I really like it. It's a good getaway maneuver. That's pretty cool. Also, we got boosts in the main menu, not the main menu, the class setup menu. We got boosts. They're kind of like abilities that you can choose from for your pilot. You can only choose one at a time, but you unlock them with in-game currency. One can make you fast, one can make your bullets stronger, another can let you scramble the enemy's radar. It's just a little ability that you can choose from. And then I like how at the end you can try to retreat back to the ship if you lost, of course, or you can intercept the losing enemy once they do the same. The losing enemy has to retreat, and the winners have to take them out, have to intercept it, take down the ship. I don't know, I think that's pretty sick that they did that. The radar is very similar to the first installment from Destiny, my bad, because the Destiny radar is the same from the first installment of Titanfall. So if you know how to use the radar already, or like the Destiny radar, then you're ready to use this one. If you don't know how to read this radar, I'm going to have a video on that soon enough, so you do want to make sure you stick to my channel. I'm going to show you guys all that kind of stuff. We make better FPS players here at G-Legend, so hopefully you guys subscribe and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, game modes. We're on to our second little section here, game modes. I counted 7 game modes. There's 7 included game modes, and there might be more in future DLC. Who knows, right? I don't know, but there could be more. I think they should have more actually. The game mode Bounty Hunt, that's one of the game modes. Every kill you get some money, and then you can deposit when you're prompted. So basically, you kill the enemy, you take half their money, and you keep collecting all your money, and until you're prompted to actually deposit all that cash into the bank. You can actually do that and score for your team or score for yourself, whatever, and the enemies can do the same. If they kill you, they take half your money, so that really sucks for you, so don't die. You don't want to die in Bounty Hunt. The second game mode, we got Attrition. It's pretty much like Team Deathmatch with Titans, so that's pretty straightforward. The game mode Amped Hardpoint, it's just like Domination. It's pretty much the same concept. I thought it was an actual game of Hardpoint, like, you know, how Call of Duty does it, but it's not. It's not Hardpoint, it's just basically Domination. And then the game mode Capture the Flag, that one you pretty much all know. You want to capture the enemy's flag while you protect your own. Pretty straightforward as well. The game mode Last Titan Standing, that's basically a 5v5 Titan deathmatch with no respawning. So that's kind of like Search and Destroy if you play Call of Duty. Sort of, not exactly. The idea is sort of the same. You don't want to die basically because you don't get to respawn. So you fight another team of 5 Titans and no one can come back alive until the next round. I think that's a pretty cool game mode, pretty intense. The game mode pilots versus pilots is just a deathmatch with attrition, but without AI players, you know, the grunts and the specters and stuff like that. And then the game mode free-for-all, you know, classic deathmatch, every man for himself. And then we also get this bonus game mode called Coliseum. This is basically a 1v1 arena where you just kill your opponent. It costs a little bit of in-game currency to play though, as you can see on screen. So that kind of sucks, but it's a 1v1. You guys fight each other, best 2 out of 3. I thought it was pretty neat, but not necessarily my favorite game mode. That pretty much covers it for the game modes. Now the Titan/Titan loadouts. We got 6 Titans in this new installment. We got Ion, I think that's how you pronounce it. She's got a laser core, chest fired attack, of course, laser shot, precision shoulder laser, and then she's got a vortex shield, basically blocks and redirects incoming enemy fire, and a tripwire, laser triggered explosive mines. And then we got our handy dandy Scorch. He's got a flame core, basically a thermite shockwave. He's got a firewall. It basically is just it fires a wall of thermite. And then we got thermal shield, melts nearby enemies and acts as a shield. We got the incendiary trap, which fills an area with thermite and ignitable gas, which is actually pretty useful. I've used it. The North Star, we got flight core, hovering and unleash rockets to nearby enemies. We got the cluster missile, create sustains explosions on impact. We got the tether trap, which is basically a mine that locks nearby enemy titans down. This is kind of pointless though, I want to say, because like they can just shoot the mine and they're free. But I guess it just slows people down. And then lastly for this Titan, we got the VTOL hover, basically just, you know, vertical takeoff hover. That's pretty much all that is. And then we got the Ronin, I think that's for Ronin sword core. It electrifies your broadsword, making attacks stronger. Your arc wave slows and damages enemies. Sword block, it reduces damage from incoming fire. And then we got the phase dash, quick direction phase shift. And as you can probably tell, I'm just reading all this off from the actual website. So Tone, I think that's his name, Tone. Salvo core, that's guided missiles. He's got tracking rockets, lock on missiles. He's got particle wall, that's a shield. Sonar lock reveals enemies around you, which is pretty sick. And then we got Legion. He's got a smart core, lock on targets. Basically that's what it is. You can lock onto targets. Power shot, at close range the power shot knocks back enemies. At long range it damages all enemies at its path, which is kind of weird. But gun shield, basically just a shield. Mode switch between close and long range precision shots, which is pretty good as well. I really like how you don't have to actually be manually controlling the Titan. This is something I want to say. If you don't jump into the Titan when you call it, say somebody kills you or you just leave, you don't actually lose it, at least in my experience. All it'll do is just operate by itself, giving you the liberty to use it or to just have to do the work for you. It kind of guards you though, that's what I've noticed. Kind of follows you around, kind of wanting you to get in. Anyway, the customization is really nice in this game. You can pretty much customize your loadouts just like you can customize a class in Call of Duty, so that's pretty nice. Tailor the class to what you like. Anyway, now we got the weapons. That's the next section, the weapons. The weapons in this game are pretty well balanced. I'm actually pretty impressed. Nothing seems too strong or too weak. I like the assault weapons best, though the SMGs are good too, but I feel that the assault classes are typically, but generally speaking, have better range than weapons from the SMG category, except the CAR, the CAR, which is actually the first weapon you have. It is so sick. Like, you know, that might be the only overpowered weapon I found, because the recoil, it's insane how you just, like, you can be standing right there and, like, not even, the gun does not kick, like, you can shoot. And the hip fire, ooh, the hip fire is so accurate. Like, it's freaking, I think it's overpowered, especially since it's a beginning weapon. So I'm gonna be making a review on that one soon. Definitely stick around for that. But other than that, I think they're pretty good. The weapons are pretty balanced. We got the weapon categories such as primary, sidearm, which is their secondary. We got anti-Titan weapons, which is basically, you know, anti-Titan. And then we got Titan weapons. Primaries are given to pilots, and then sidearms are also given to pilots. One anti-Titan weapon is given to pilots, and then an ordnance or tactical ability. Titans get one primary, ordnance, and then tactical ability as well. One negative thing about the weapons is that they should have added more weapons, I think. Like, not that these weapons aren't enough, because there are a few, but it's just better to give players more to choose from. Like, I don't think it's enough. Like, it's not like 1 or 2 weapons, you know, it's not that bad, but I think they should have had a little bit more, you know, just kind of keep things fresh after a few months. Maybe they should just release some weapons for future DLC. We do need some more weapons though. So that, and then the fact that the car is so overpowered, that's the only things I see wrong with the weapons. So moving on to our last section, we got the maps here, and we have 9 default maps in this game. I'm not gonna go over them all because that's gonna take a long ass time, but through all the maps we generally look at basically the same thing. They're all well made. I have to admit, they're all well made, but they do seem rather repetitive when it comes to how they feel to the player. Not literally how they feel, right? Because you can't feel anything, you know, virtual. But I mean, like, some may be too spaced out, some may be too close quarters. This is the feel that I mean. More on that in a second. They also each seem to have a perfect mix of longer range areas and close quarters indoor areas, mostly. And you know, I'm emphasizing that because it is mostly, not all of them, but most. I'm glad that they did this so that you can have space to be your Titan or to be a pilot at any time, no matter what. They have like a section for Titans and they have a section for pilots. Usually the center of the map is meant for pilots mostly, and then the outskirts is meant for the Titans, but it's not necessarily like that all the time. It is mostly though. My favorite map right now would have to probably be Eden because it's different from the rest. It's hard to explain this one. You just have to play it. It struck me like a map with great balance of infantry terrain and Titan terrain. Just the way things are laid out, I really like it. The only drawback that seems to reoccur in every map though, except Eden in my opinion, is the fact that they all feel the same. Like I was saying, when it comes to visuals, it may be different, but a lot of these maps make a player subconsciously associate a certain feeling to each map. This would be a great thing, except for the fact that this feeling is, you know, the same for like most maps. To me, it's kind of like an overwhelming feeling because it makes me feel like I have to go and look around everywhere around me, behind me, to the left, to the right, in front of me, everywhere, because the maps are made in such a way where anyone can pop out of somewhere that you had already checked, that you previously checked or went through. I think they needed to take They needed to lower the amount of areas people can go into the building through, go through buildings, pop out of places. They needed to lower that amount of places that they can do that, if that makes any sense. Lower the open windows, lower the amount of staircases, that sort of thing. I think the map Boomtown though, that's one of the maps. Boomtown is a map where the outskirts is actually meant mostly for the Titans and the center for the pilots. I like the layout of the map too, it's not too shabby actually. Now, for the miscellaneous things that I wanted to point out, all the future DLC will be free for Titanfall 2, so that's pretty freaking awesome. I'm sure you guys have already heard about that. And then the campaign review is coming up soon as well, so you do want to check that out. Now, here's the moment of truth, guys. So, should you buy it? Should you wait for the price drop? Should you rent it, a Gamefly, or should you just not even bother with it? And this is taking into consideration only the multiplayer. What I didn't even review the campaign yet. Haven't even played it, to be honest. I've been focused on this. Now, if all you were interested about this game was the multiplayer portion, you would not buy the campaign. You would not buy the game for the campaign. I would say that you would probably want to actually wait for a price drop, guys. That's the rating I give it. Wait for a price drop. The reason is because it's a good game, but it's not spectacular by any way, any means. I give it like an 8 out of 10, 8.5 actually. That sounds about better. 8.5 out of 10. I give that an 8.5 out of 10, and you guys are going to want to wait for a price drop unless you want to just buy it now, but I think you should wait for a price drop. Anyway, that's going to cover it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Check out my channel if you like these kinds of videos. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys come back here again, and if I do see you guys back here again, then I'll catch you in the next one.